Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today, it is Pump Day. Yeah, it sounds kind of fun, but indeed, the entire crypto market is just absolutely zooting. And this is something I've prepared you guys for a little while. Let's quickly explain the situation. Today, we had the US inflation data, and the CPI report showcased that inflation in the US is going down. Is that bullish? Is that bearish for crypto? Well, it kind of depends. There's a bullish side, which is, well, the major indices are all going to be moving up and recession fear becomes lower. And for that reason, our beloved crypto market will also do well. On the opposite side, there's also the argument to be made that cryptocurrencies were designed to properly function in a, well, not so properly working financial system. Hence, Bitcoin was made after during the major financial crises of 2008-2009. So on that field, the bigger question that pops up is, why is the market pumping right now? Guys, we expected this exact scenario, and so for anybody that's watching the channel almost daily, you guys are all having a wonderful day today, I hope. Because what we've been preparing for is the tax wave. You have to understand that people are very simple human beings, and companies are pretty akin as well. If there's tax, they will cash out to pay it. And that's exactly what happened at the end of the year. The entire month of December is usually a little bit more of a negative month, especially the last couple of days, which is also what we've seen throughout the end of December. Now, the moment that January started, we saw prices climb up a little bit again. And that is what's continuing on right now. It is this FOMO, fear of missing out, on top of just excitement from the decrease in selling pressure, together with positive economic backing. So for example, the other major indices are doing good, and we have seen that even though in bad times the correlation is not 1-to-1, the correlation is certainly still there. Anyway, I'm just extremely happy that I stacked up my pockets at the end of December. Let me quickly put a couple of caveats in. There's a very high probability that this is just a bull trap, that we are pumping right now and are going to be taking all this money back out over the next couple of weeks. The probability of that is, I'd say, 85%. That means that we don't know exactly how high Bitcoin will go right now before it will fall back down to continue to stay low for a couple more months before continuing on. That is based upon the halving cycles, which a lot of people in the crypto community are looking at. There's another offset for this crypto market to start right now, and that is the major FTX and Alameda selling pressure that could be initiated over the next couple of days, week. We have to understand that Alameda and FTX already have to pay major amounts back, and they've liquidated a good chunk of money already, we assume, but most likely that is only going to be getting worse. And you have to understand as well, a lot of the major FUD as to why cryptos went down was, first we had Luna, then we had Three Arrows Capital, and then we had the whole FTX debacle with a lot of other middle moving parts. And right now, a lot of that fear is behind us. But the moment that something happens again, for example, one of these investigations that's going on with Binance right now that a lot of these articles are fudding about actually persists and some negative news gets put in front of us, or if, for example, Ripple loses their very important crypto lawsuit, that also might be a very big deterror for the crypto market. That might also just make it dump for a significant while here. Alas, my own expectation is as follows. The crypto market right now is positive, and that will continue on for a little bit. People are massively buying in because of FOMO, and that's also what these major institutions want. I personally understand, and I think you guys do too, that major institutions like BlackRock, even though right now we've seen the firing spree, if you guys did not know, just type it in for yourself. BlackRock plans to cut 500 jobs worldwide following 2022 sell-off. Things are not looking good for some of these major institutions. They're all, over the last couple of years, getting more and more acquainted with crypto, and they know their institutional clients want it too. I've personally said it before that I believe major funds have a little bit of an agreement to let crypto go on a little bit of fire for the time being, as the moment that all these major institutions start heavily pushing it, heavily announcing it in public, even though they're already working on it in the background, is when things will go too hard towards the upside, which will not allow some of these major institutions to build in the background, build their fundamentals, and make massive amounts of money on it. Understand that the crypto space is $900 billion. Some of these companies are multi-trillion dollars assets under management. From that perspective, if some of those cooperate, I don't think crypto really stands a chance to quote unquote not be manipulated. The manipulation will be there if they want it to be. And for that reason, I believe crypto will not fail, but will ultimately keep having bumpy rides, is because there's two sides to every coin. There's some parties who just want to keep it low for a while, potentially forever, because they make money on that, and the opposite side who wants it to go up to make money on that. Both are logical. There still are a couple of fear points. For example, everything to do with the digital currency group, since they're not in the most stable of situations, anything that happens to them could ripple effect a little bit further in the crypto space. Again, I'm going to come back on what I said earlier. FTX going for some major sell-off of some of their coins, like for example, Ethereum or maybe even their Bitcoin. That might also not be too nice. If they sell out their Tether and redeem it for actual dollars or so, that will not be too bad, obviously, as that's hopefully backed up properly, so nothing will happen. But if they were to sell their Bitcoin massively or their Ethereum, yes, most likely the crypto market would feel that. Having said that, that's a lot of negativity. What am I buying right now? What am I doing in this situation? Again, as I said, I do believe that the bull run has not quote unquote started yet, even though there's a very good chance that Bitcoin won't bottom any lower than what it did. It just doesn't seem as if Bitcoin's meteoric rise has already started. It just seems like some temporary joy before some temporary downfall before the permanent joy, as it doesn't look like Bitcoin is ever going to go to $3,000 yet again, even though this is not financial advice. I am just buying altcoins right now like a madman, and particularly stacking up on Bitcoin, as some of these other altcoins like Ethereum, they've gotten a little bit too expensive for my taste over the last couple of days. And so I'm just trying to stack up on Bitcoin, which hasn't relatively changed as much as, for example, some coins like AVEX here, which is also up 30% throughout the day, throughout the week. And if we check or take a look, Gala is up 122% this week, Aptos up 60% this week, Zilliqa up 40%, IMX up 30%. A lot of altcoins are just performing crazy. And so for that reason, I am buying a little bit more Bitcoin than normal. But as I've said before, guys, the only thing I want to circumvent is regret. And so what I try to optimize is my buying pattern every single day. I buy crypto every single day. That way, I never feel regret. If prices go lower, I buy. If prices go higher, I buy. That way, I minimize regret in the future for not having bought enough or not having done enough. Again, about 12 days ago, January 1st, I put my major USDT stack into crypto, like I said in my How to Get Rich with Crypto in 2023 video. And right now, I'm just putting crumbs in every single day, relatively. But I am buying a lot of Bitcoin, as I said. It's just the quote-unquote safest coin right now, but also one that's relatively not gone up as much. In that same little ballpark is XRP. And actually, if we take a look at the last week, there's a lot of coins which are not performing too crazy just quite yet. So for that reason, it might not be too late to actually pick myself up some BNB as well, and potentially some Matic, even though this one is already up 15% throughout the week. And again, what you don't want to be is the guy. Let me quickly showcase to you guys. This was really funny about Sam Bankman-Fried. He misread something, but let me quickly show you guys. You don't want to be this guy where crypto prices go down and you wait. Crypto goes down further, you're afraid, so you wait. And then the moment that things start to pump, you go and massively buy. That's the majority of people. And like somebody says in the comments you guys can't see, he says, I think we would be lying to ourselves if we said this is exclusively to newbies. The only thing I want to say about that one is just try to circumvent, just try to not do that. At least buy when things are going down as well, but always think about minimizing your regret is my opinion the best. So I'd rather, again, this is my own philosophy, I'd rather now lose out on about half my money that I just put in now, and Bitcoin goes to whatever, $8,000. So then I can buy more and average it out, but okay. Then Bitcoin going now to $150,000 and me not having bought enough. Again, my strategy is always go for these round numbers. It's not a proven science, it's just something that might help you mentally. For example, go for, 1 Bitcoin, 10 Ethereum, and 1,000 XRP. Have that as a goal to gather, and maybe you want to have 5 BNB, for example. Just pick these round or semi-round numbers. That way you can have a goal of stacking an amount of coins and not just think about the amount of dollars or euros or whatever currency you're using that you've pumped into the crypto space. That might sometimes make it a little bit harder on your head. Just try to accumulate as many coins as possible is my own personal thought process. Again, I'm not your financial advisor. This is just my own pure thoughts and what we're going to start doing very soon, guys, depending on how many days this bullishness continues on for, is go massive on the crazy altcoins. I've showcased to you guys the quickest way to become a multi-millionaire this year. I don't want to say is listening to me. Please don't think I'm trying to say that. But I will share with you guys many opportunities where you just buy an altcoin before it's launched and have a lot of potential for it to go big. There's a lot of potential to lose, it's true. But the moment you strike gold, you strike actual gold. And we've had it 2 years ago now, I think, or a year and a half ago or so, that many of these coins went times 100, 150, and we've even had a coin that went times 420 or 440 or so. That means we put in $1,000, for example, you get $440,000 back. And that's what we're going to be just searching for over the next couple of days here, depending on how high Bitcoin goes. If we go above $20,000, I'm pressing the buy button on a lot of things I shouldn't if we get a proper close above there, because FOMO might just be too high and we might want to take a little bit of an advantage of that quick little pump. And again, guys, for the longest time now, I've had my long positions open, like I described before. Just do 3 things right now. 1, go to the description down below and get yourself a hardware wallet. Right here is a link to Ledger. Good. It's the one I personally use, but just check it out. Then step number 2 is get yourself a VPN. A link will be right there. NordVPN is the one I use, but pick whatever. Just always use a VPN. It's like $2 a month or so. Just get it. 3, use a proper exchange. I personally use Bybit, but that also has to do with the fact that I look for the best bonuses and look for the best team in that. Never used FTX in my life. I didn't like the people too much. Right now, I'm not using KuCoin. Don't like the people too much. I'm in talks with them though to see if they can give me an answer to a couple of questions I have, then maybe things would change. I do use Binance, but for trading, I think Bybit is the best exchange out there because right now they have the biggest bonus, which is obviously the best. So just check out Bybit. I'll leave a link down below. Is the exchange I personally use for trading. And if for some reason you don't like Bybit, then there's another one, my second favorite exchange right now, which is BitGet. There's also crazy bonuses on there, so just make sure you check it out. Like I said earlier, I try to keep a long position open the entire bear market. It might sound counterintuitive, but what I basically do is I look for the lowest possible point that I could open a Bitcoin or whatever long position at. Long position basically meaning you open up a contract that basically puts it as if the price is going to go up. So you put money, let's say you put $100,000, okay, let's do less. You put $10,000 on the contract. You can leverage that. So you can, instead of doing just the $10,000, you can actually trade with $100,000 or $1 million. And so if the price moves 1%, since you've used 10x leverage, you'll now move 10%, or basically you're, instead of making 1% profit, 10% profit, vice versa, obviously for the downside. But I try to do that as low as possible because, again, little story, guys, a little story time here. When I check my friend group, there's a big YouTuber crypto group chat that we have. A couple of guys were putting up their trades from $3,000 all the way up to $69,000 with Bybit. That was really interesting. It was so crazy to me. But what they basically did is just keep buying lower and lower and lower and lower. And at some point, you're going to be right or semi-right, where Bitcoin just won't never cross below that level again. And so you can basically, if you hold on for a little while, catch that wave all the way towards the top. And for that reason, I just try to keep a long position open. Even if it's a small one, I try to always keep one open because you might just catch that bottom. And with a long position, that's going to be just way more absolutely crazy than with just buying Bitcoin or so because of the exponential change that you might get. But yeah, that was it for today's video, guys. Just check it out. I'm buying like a madman because I try to buy every single day. You know the altcoins that I'm buying. I always share it with you guys. HBAR is pretty good. QNT is pretty good. Chainlink is pretty good. These are all my favorite altcoins. Algorand, I love. Filecoin, not so much for the gains, but it's a good fundamental crypto. You can see it's also doing pretty well throughout the day. Pump day, pump day, pump day. You know, pump it up. We can finally start singing again soon as well, guys, because finally the pump days are back. But don't think it's gonna certainly last forever now. You know, we might surely fall yet again, but at least make sure you don't have a regret if the bull market is indeed right around the corner, if you guys understand my drift.